Welcome to this week's edition of HawkTalk. Warmer weather is on its way. The snow is starting to melt, and so we're getting ready for these spring sports. We're joined by one of those student athletes today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what you do at Dickinson State.
All right, I'm Shelby McGee. I am currently a junior at Dickinson State. I'm an exercise science major, and in track I do the 60, the 100, the 200, the 400, and then now with outdoor starting I do the 4x1 relay and every once in a while the 4x4 relay. So,
what brought you here, and how have you enjoyed it so far?
Yeah, I definitely had quite a few different options for track, and I just knew a lot of people on our track team. When I came on my visit, it just felt of like more of a family environment, and that's what I really liked about it. I liked our coaches, I liked the facilities, and yeah, so I just got like a good overall vibe from it. So that's why I picked Dickinson State. So.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned, knowing some people here before. How cool is that to see some people that you competed against that are now on your team, and some familiar faces?
Yeah, no, it's definitely really cool. I have a lot of people, like Abby Honeyman is one of them. She was actually one of my big rivals back in high school for our Southwest region. It's really cool to see, at the college level, like how we succeed, and I don't know, we're on, like, being on a team together now, and it's cool. I mean, we see a lot of our old teammates from other teams also. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And now that we're moving from indoor to outdoor, what is the transition between those as far as track length, different things like that?
Yeah, we have some different events. Like I said, I do the 60 in indoor, which is not an event in the outdoor. And some of the other distances, they get a little bit longer. We add javelin for throwing, and yeah, it's definitely a different training, but it's nice. It's definitely nice to be outside the indoor track. It's only normally a 200 track, and now when we're outdoor, we switch to a 400 track, which is also nice. So.
Yeah. The training you mentioned, I've seen you guys out on the track a little bit. A couple weeks ago, it snowed. It snowed back in the winter, so you guys are kind of stuck inside doing treadmill workouts. Talk about those maybe a little bit and the joy you find in that.
Yeah. The treadmill workouts, they're definitely, at the beginning, they're fine. We're used to them, but definitely when it starts getting into the spring, we're kind of really urged to get outside. We're excited. It's definitely a lot easier on our legs once we get outside. I think it was, last Monday? We actually had to shovel off the entire track, so that was a lot of fun. But yeah, treadmill workouts, they're definitely getting a little old. We're definitely excited to be outside. Easy, like I said before, easier on the legs, and yeah. But.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about the family aspect of it, and even though it's an individual sport, you guys are pushing each other every day. Talk about how much having another person to train with and out on the track is.
Yeah, that's one big aspect. Even though you'll have a lot of your teammates right in the lane next to you as competition, you always want them to do well. You even if they beat you, it's hey, good job. It's always someone pushing you, especially in practice. We want to make each other better, which is always awesome from the team aspect and everything. And going into conference meets and stuff, it's a fun atmosphere to be able to encourage each other and say, going for that championship again this year. So, which is awesome. So.
Yeah, we talked about it with some of your other teammates, but some schools it looks like there's a men's team, a women's team. They're separated. Here. There's a lot of collaboration between the two, and it seems like everyone gets along really well and pushes each other across the board.
We actually do a lot of outside of practice things. I remember we had a little kind of Thanksgiving get together, and we do fun activities like that, and where we incorporate the whole men and women's team together. So
yeah, and I mean not only the things outside of track, you guys are seen together on the track. The field, cheering your teammates on. You guys are one big group. Maybe coming into this spring season, you'll have 2 home meets, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
What is it going to be like to have all the support of your teammates and support from the community as you're running in some of those races?
Yeah, definitely when we are at a home track meet, that's when we kind of want to shine the best. That's when we're excited. We have family coming in. And being able to have our teammates cheer us on, that's one big thing that Coach Walker always pushes us. He's like, you shouldn't be at camp, you need to go around, you need to be cheering on your teammates. And then when you add the family aspect and all the fans, it's just like the environment of it really gets you hyped up. You perform really well. It makes you feel good. You might be struggling, but you'll have a teammate that'll come up and say, hey, it's all right. You might have done bad, but let's go get that next race. So it's awesome, like the environment of it. So.
Yeah, you guys found some thaw ground this past weekend down in Spearfish. Talk a little bit about the relay and the 200 that you did pretty well in.
Yep, our 4x1 relay, we were kind of nervous. We just found out we were gonna do it, I think, like a couple days before. So we were working on handoffs, and our handoffs were amazing. So we were super excited, and we won the 4x1 relay. I think we ran a 49-1, and I think qualifying for the B standard is like a 48 something. So we're almost there. So we're really excited for that. And the 200. It's kind of a reliever because I didn't do so good in the indoor like I wanted to. So right before my race, I just had to have a little mental break for a little bit and was like, all right, I can do this. And so it was a nice feeling getting outside and doing that well. So, and not only me, but a lot of my teammates, they put some pretty high marks up there for the first meet. So it was really cool to see.
Yeah, definitely. You mentioned, being kind of around a second off that B standard.
Yeah.
In the first meet of the year, that's got to feel pretty good. And do you guys feel like you can improve on that going forward?
Oh yeah, definitely. I know some of our handoffs can be a lot smoother. I know, with my start and stuff being the first leg, I have a lot of things to work on with that. But I know definitely we're itching to get that qualifying. I mean, we're pretty determined that we're going to get it this year. So.
That's good.
Yeah, and we've seen success, from runners in cross country, indoor, outdoor, whatever it may be. Does that drive you to know that, we've been there in the past, we can go get it again?
Oh yeah, definitely. And with our cross country team, I mean, they do a phenomenal job. It's really cool to see all team aspects. We know that the long distance runners are going to do their jobs, and we know that the sprinters are going to do our jobs also. So it's really cool from a team aspect to see so many so much success throughout the team. So
yeah, you alluded to it earlier, talking about that conference championship and that being the ultimate goal. How do you guys stay healthy throughout the year, prepare for that to get to that?
Yeah. It's hard to stay healthy, especially being on the bus for so long and there's not very much ventilation. So when a sickness does come around, it almost hits the whole team, But a lot of us, sometimes, we need a recovery day. Sometimes we'll miss a meet or two because we're a little banged up. But for the most part, I feel like our team is pretty responsible enough to know when they're injured, they're going to be in the training room, getting the help that they need. So overall, I feel like we have a pretty healthy team and we stay fairly consistent with that. So.
Definitely. As you kind of look forward to the rest of the outdoor season, obviously making it to nationals, win conference, do you have any other personal goals that you want to get to?
I definitely have some personal goals. I mean, becoming a better teammate is definitely one of my big ones. Trying to everyone that gets done saying hey, good job, being able to encourage them. That's always been one of my goals, especially being one of the older kids on the team. That's good. It's a good thing to for the younger kids. And I mean, I definitely want a lot of qualifications for me personally, but I guess that's on the lower end of the totem pole, so yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us,
thank
Shelby.
you.
Thank you.
We'll be back with one of Shelby's teammates on the guys' side, talking about a little throwing. Welcome back to Hawk Talk. We're joined by another track and field athlete, this time on the men's side. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, and what events you compete in.
Hi, my name is Jeff Fisher. I compete in shot put, disc, and hammer. I'm from Baker, Montana. I'm a junior studying exercise science.
Yeah, we talked a little bit about with Shelby, but coming from Baker, obviously kind of a rich legacy of people coming from Eastern Montana to Dickinson State. Mm-hmm. What's it like, kind of seeing some of those familiar faces?
It's great seeing them. It kind of makes me want to live up and have an expectation, hold myself to higher standards with seeing those guys around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we talked about also with Shelby, kind of that family aspect of the team. Do you think kind of knowing some of those people before coming here, helps you kind of ease into college life?
Yeah, knowing them guys, it was pretty easy to kick back, relax, and knowing you can joke around with everybody. Walk around, say hi to everybody like usual, but getting to see them and having the camaraderie, I've come through sports and everybody's had a camaraderie with each other. Everybody wants to be here, they want to get to know each other, but they want to compete at the same time.
Yeah, that's great. Looking back on the spring, or on the winter, you guys had a great showing as a team, and you individually had a great showing, in your individual events. Looking to the outdoor, how do you want to improve? How do you want to, get better at some of those individuals and, increase in your discus, which you don't do in the indoor?
Increasing discus, it's something that's like riding a bike, kind of, but you just have to fine tune it. Yeah. But all the other things, shot put, I got first in conference in shot put, but now it's onto outdoor. It's different into the fact now that I'm a spinner instead of a glider. So it's kind of switching everything up. A few little things that I need to work on. Yeah. And then hammer, you go from a 35-pound weight to a 16-pound ball on a 3-foot wire. Everything's a lot quicker than an indoor weight.
Yeah, you talk about kind of that spinning, gliding. For anyone who doesn't really know the sport, how much of it is it about technique and timing and getting all that right?
It's all about technique. It's making sure that when you get your left toe turned all the way, kicking through and staying back on it, spinning that way, but gliding, staying down and staying back. Everything's so technical, and I've carried this all through high school and all through college. Is that it's all in the hips, man. It's all in the hips.
That's right. Well, you're a big, strong guy, so you're good at that, and you have good technique for both of those throwing. But you also do football. And so, we're into spring ball, starting right now. So talk about the balance that you and, there's 5 or 10 other guys on the team who are doing track and football. Talk about the balance that you guys have to find with that.
The balance, it gets hard. You kind of have to go through and know yourself, your body. If you can't get overtrained, you can't be taking lots of reps and then expecting to go compete. So 2 days before a meet, we're not going to do any football training, but Monday, Tuesday, what we're doing right now, that's all right to do because then it gives your body some time to recover. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But going in, you have to give your body more time to recover, 2-3 days before a meet. So it's kind of high contact at the beginning, and then you're kind of just watching at the end.
Yeah, looking back on that football season, 3-time conference championship, all conference selection for yourself. How much do you think the team has turned the page, though, and now it's on to 2018 new year?
Oh, it happened right after. Coming in for winter conditioning, everybody wants to go get that dub. They want to get that first-round playoff win, and we want so much more. Me being here for so long, I want to get past Butte. I want to get past Southern Oregon. I want to go get that championship. Mm-hmm. And it all started in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And, you guys, both of you were, in the weight room grinding, whatever it may be. How awesome is it to see the guys in there every morning? Either of you, I guess.
Yeah, it's awesome to be with those guys in that environment. putting in the work, because a lot of the times you don't see that work happening. You just see the end result in the fall or even in the spring. So it's just great to be with all those guys who are committed. A lot of those young guys are incredibly committed, and I love to see that. And then to get out on the field is awesome to do that with those guys too.
Oh, yeah. No, getting back, getting the pads on, hearing them crack, it's a heck of an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and for yourself, Jeff, kind of as the elder statesman on the line, how are you trying to help some of those younger guys get the footwork, get different things figured out?
I try my best. These young kids, they come to me and, what am I doing wrong? What can I do to do this better? Plays, them, I always tell them, get into your playbook. You need to make sure that you know what's going on first, because we have like 2-3 plays that is the foundation of our offense, and as soon as I can get the footwork down with that, and then it's good, they can learn right off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of transitioning back into track. This past weekend down in Spearfish, I think you finished 7th in the shot. What did you feel about your performance, and how do you see yourself improving throughout the outdoor season?
It's the first track meet of the year. So like I said, it's the first time I've ever spun in a competition, and yeah, the nerves kind of got to me, but I pulled through, tried my best. But now looking forward, it's more, I'm gonna get more of my technique. I got the strength for it. It's just getting the small details down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It seems like, in golf, it's the same thing, a really short season because of weather and whatever it may be. How do you have to take advantage of each opportunity out there to get better and get ready for conference?
You're in North Dakota, you don't know what the weather's going to pull with you. So being indoors, like I can throw shot put and disc indoors. We have special things to help us with that, but hammer, that's where it gets difficult. Mm-hmm. Because, me, I've got a goal that I want to be a consistent 3-turn hammer thrower. Well, it's kind of hard to do that indoors when you can't let go and see actually how far your distance is going.
Yeah, we talked about it with Shelby, kind of the bar has been set for, the track teams to get and win that conference championship. Do you feel like there's a drive behind the guys this year?
Oh, there's always a drive. We're very competitive. It's been that way throughout the entirety, like all the years. Everybody wants to win, and they're gonna go out and compete their butts off so that they can get that win.
Yeah. With that said, do you have any personal goals for the upcoming season?
Hopefully I want to be in 14 5s in shot put, 43s in hammer, and about the same with disc.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best of luck to you this season, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
Shelby and Jeff will be on the road this weekend, potentially Colorado, potentially Montana, wherever the snow doesn't hit. And you can check out that on dsubluehawks.com, their full schedule. They'll be in town into April, so make sure you come out to the BAC and check that out. Football spring games coming up as well, so make sure you check out that news. And then until next week, Hawks are out.